So, are you retiring one more question today?
Yes, in fact, we do retire questions every week, but today I'm going to talk about one of the questions that we retired last week. And this is my favorite question. The question is about the Likrill number. So let me first explain what is a Likrill number, and we'll take it from there. So for the Likrill number is one of the unsolved mathematical, I wouldn't say mystery, but one of the unsolved mathematical theorem that we have. The question is around that. To showcase, we have to pick a number. So can you give me any two-digit number?
Let's say 53.
Okay. So you take the number 53 and you have to do an operation with it. What you have to do is reverse the number and add it with the original number. So 53, you reverse it, make it 35, and what you get is 88, which is a palindrome. So either the number that you have picked is already a palindrome, let's say for example 11 or 22 or 101. Right? These are all palindromes to begin with. That means you don't have to do any operations. But otherwise you have to reverse the number, add it with the original, and keep repeating that thing until you get a palindrome. Now the theory says that the Likrill number is a number which will go on forever and ever. You have to keep doing the reverse and add till infinity and beyond, and you will never get the palindrome. That is not mathematically proven. So the question we have in our question bank is around, using a brute force method. You figure out how many iterations will it take to reach to the palindrome, and then we also tell the candidates that about the Likrill number, because if you don't know about it, you will hit one of these so-called or candidate Likrill number, where you will keep going forever, right? So, and the reason I said candidate Likrill number is because using the brute force, you will never be able to prove that a given number is a Likrill number, because by definition you have to go all the way till infinity, which is not possible. So you have to give up at some point and say, hey, maybe this is a Likrill number, this is a candidate Likrill number. And by the way, the first candidate Likrill number is 196. So that's how the theory works.
Can you show us the code now?
Absolutely. But before I show the code, what I will do is I will show some statistics around this number. So this is the statistics that we have around the number, where we asked this question for 471 times. Out of which 21 times the candidate was spot on. They were able to solve the problem, without taking any hint. And for 72 times, they required a little bit of help before they got to the answer, and so on and so forth. So the problem seems relatively simple, but the statistics shows that only 19% of the candidates were able to get to the solution. And we could have gone a little bit more for this question, because this question is not there on any of the public forum like Glassdoor and such. But we kind of got bored with it, and we thought, okay, roughly 450 to 500 times is a good amount of time to ask a given question. So we decided to retire it. So now let me jump to the solution. So I'm doing this in Python, because it's easiest to demonstrate. There are a couple of helper functions here to reverse a number, as well as to figure out whether a given number is a palindrome or not. And then you are going for maximum 1000 number. So for all the numbers between 1 and 1000, we are going to tell how many iterations does it take to make it a palindrome. And our threshold is 100. So if we try it for 100 times, and if it doesn't become a palindrome, we say, hey, maybe this is a Likrill number. So we say, hey, we got a candidate Likrill number at that point of time. So it's a very simple, fairly simple for loop. You go from 0 to max. You figure out, you start with how many iterations you require, and till you are not done, you figure out whether the given number is palindrome or not. If it is not, you reverse and add to whatever the number you have got, and you keep going it. And if the number of iterations are beyond the threshold, which is 1000, then you give up. So let's run this program and see how does the output look like. You start with 0, 0, 1, 2 all the way up to 9 is palindrome by definition because it's a single digit number. And then you keep going on. And if you notice, 98 is 24 iterations. That's the largest we have got so far. And the first candidate like real number you get is 196. And then 295 and so on. So there you go. That's one of the questions that we have just retired. The reason I like it is because it is related with one of the unsolved mathematical puzzle even in 2020. And I would highly recommend one of the videos from the number file with where F is PH, number PHILE. We'll put the link to that video in the description. They have talked about this number in detail. Thank you. Alright, let's talk about the bonus material now. So in our previous code, we had a threshold of 100. The question is, how do you come up with that threshold? Seems like an arbitrary number. The way we came up with that number is by running the program, and we saw that, okay, whenever it is not a like real number or a candidate like real number, we do see that within 24 to 25 iterations we are getting the palindrome. Now that part, can you make the system smart enough to learn on its own? Obviously yes. This is not part of our question anymore, but just for fun we will show this bonus material. So what I did was I made this as a class for the candidate like real number, and we start with an initial threshold of 10. We don't know, it's again an arbitrary number, but we have to start somewhere, and we'll keep increasing the threshold as and when we learn about the maximum iteration it takes. So some of the previous functions are still there, reversing a number, figuring out whether a given number is palindrome or not, but now we have a new thing called set threshold. And we are remembering what is the maximum iterations it has ever taken so far. We start with 0 to 9. Of course, the number of iterations is 0. Those numbers are palindrome to begin with. But as we go along, we remember what is the largest number of iterations it required to make a given number palindrome. And then, as and when we encounter the largest iterations, we multiply it by 4 times, and that is our new threshold. So let's see how it runs. So here I am not showing the number of iteration it takes to make it a palindrome, because we only want to focus on the candidate like real numbers. So we start with of course 0, and max iter is initially 1. It kind of jumps to 24 ever, and so the threshold is 96. So we are giving up at 96. If any number does not result into a palindrome after 96 iteration, we declare it as a candidate like real number. So this is more of a self-learning system where the thresholds are updated on its own. And people who have worked on quantitative stuff, right, they would then come up with some kind of probability that if you are more than 3 or 4 times the standard deviation of the max iterations, then this is your probability that, okay, given number is a like real number. You can assign some kind of a probability to each number. So just wanted to show this variation just for your intellectual curiosity. This is not part of our evaluation criteria. Thanks.